Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to a brand new episode of Plug Talk Sports live show. This is episode 217. Myself, Danny Torres. We've got Jonka and we've got Brandon. Very victorious Monday, shall we say. If you guys know, now you will know, especially to all my Canadian friends. I actually have a Canadian colleague at work from Toronto, and he did not want to see any one bit of me yesterday. Uh, Team USA landing right here in our home city, Miami, to celebrate. They're probably, me and Brandon were talking before the show, they're probably partying it up at 11 right now. But we're going to start with that. USA, not only men's, but women's, we sweep Canada in hockey in the gold medal game in overtime. What a time to be alive, boys. It hadn't happened for such a long time, but this is the fourth most popular sport in the United States. It's the most popular sport in the country of Canada, and safe to say, sports are now, Connor McDavid, poor guy, he can't catch a break. Can't win a Stanley Cup, can't win a gold medal, but hey, at least he got the four nations face-off, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely was worth the reward there, man. Now they got to call it ice football at this point. You know what I mean? Like 46-year drought of gold medal for U.S. men's hockey finally finished first. And again, as you said, the women's team also game winner. You know, two game-winning finals for the medals. Like it was ridiculous just to see that. But because I know we're probably going to go in depth about like the whole game itself, but I have to like immediately just jump off the gate. Hallebuck is probably the reason why the United States have gold across their chest, man. I don't know how Connor McDavid got like MVP or whatever of the whole Olympic tournament or whatever. I don't know how that goes. I don't know if it's like, like the Stanley Cup, which is funny enough because you mentioned, 3 times losing to Kachuk, but also another time where you lose and someone McDavid's the MVP. Like, make that make sense. How does that make sense? But this was honestly, as an American, I'm so proud. As a Floridian, I'm ridiculously proud.
All right, I'm back. What the heck just happened?
I don't know. I see 2 of you.
So 2 Dannys for 2 golds.
Wait, Danny? Do you see yourself? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, we're good.
Oh, all of a sudden, you guys just disappeared. I was like, "What the heck just happened?"
I think they're experiencing some sort of problem.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, sorry for the technical difficulties. Yes, Hallebuck. Brandon, what you were saying?
No, again, before you turn double, this guy was the single thing keeping the States together. Like, what was it, like 35 plus shots he faced through 3 periods of play, and the U.S. couldn't even get 20 out of the Canadians, though. And, there's always going to be an asterisk, I guess, if you say, like, oh, there was no Crosby. What was Crosby going to do that would add it on to this? You know what I mean? Again, is like a great player, obviously has been nationally known in the Olympics for Team Canada, but what difference would it make when you got a Solar Bear Orlando kid coming in getting the game-winning goal in Hughes? And let me tell you, Jack Hughes, as a Celtic fan, with Derek White chipping the tooth, Hughes chipping the tooth, meant something to me. It just means a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that chipped tooth came from our very own Sam Bennett, who hit him straight, got a minor for sticking, and had to. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that minor for sticking on Sam Bennett, sending him to the box, I think that kind of changed momentum.
Yeah, I would say so. But Jonka, what do you say about it though?
I was literally in and out because I was working all week, but I'm just first of all, before I even start saying anything, bro, congratulations to USA men's and women's hockey for giving that belt to ass. Just the embarrassment on the entire country of Canada needs to be studied. I mean, I don't know what more to say besides what I just said, because it's just history being repeated on itself. We just keep beating Connor McDavid, and it makes my day even better. Hey Connor, bro, listen, don't sign that extension. Just come down to the Panthers, and then we can continue another dynasty, or continue the dynasty. Um, yeah, I wasn't that involved with the Olympics, but I did watch a little bit of the game on Sunday morning. I don't know how I was able to get up for that game, but yeah, I think I was texting Daniel during, like, I think in the second period, when I forgot I don't even know what his name is, but Daniel might know, or Brandon might know. This kid kept trying to make these like backwards passes. You know what I'm talking about, Daniel?
Yeah.
He just kept making this one damn pass. He kept attempting to do it, and it kept getting stolen, and it kept ending up in a like a 1v2 between the defender and the goalie. And lucky enough, the guy who got the puck is terrible. So that could have been severely worse than what it ended up being. But credit to USA for defending very well in those plenty of mistakes. But I mean, besides that, yeah, I think we were the better team the whole time. I don't care what anybody tells me that Canada was playing better than we did. I don't know.
I mean, second period, they could have easily been up 3-1, 4-1. They were, if it wasn't, as Brandon said, if it wasn't for our goalie, we would have been smashed.
But also, Canada, with all the excuses in the world, they had a 3-5 advantage.
Yeah, they did.
Like in clutch moments in that third. I mean, they had every chance they needed to. I mean, again, and also because we talk about McKinnon a lot. I know a lot of people talk about McKinnon, open goal chance, talking crap after the game. How can he talk crap? You had the chance for your country, the chance for gold.
They had lots of, let me tell you, Canada had so much star power on that team. Sam Reinhart, Marchand, McDavid. I mean, I know Crosby was out. They had Crosby. They had so much star power. But you know what my thing is, Brandon? If you looked at Canada's run in the Olympics, they were just getting by. Just getting by. I mean, if you look at the Finland game, Finland goes up 2-0 on Canada, and Canada comes back to win. But the entire Olympics, they were just getting by. Just like that, the entire Olympics. And I told my friend who's Canadian, I said, there's going to be one team that's not going to let you do that. It's going to take one team that's not going to let you come back, and they're just going to shut the door on you, and it's all going to be over.
Yeah, I think that honestly, though, for the U.S., because Canada, obviously intense final, but that Sweden game, that was probably the toughest matchup I think the States had throughout the entire tournament. Because, of course, we talk about 1980 with the miracle stuff where, like, these are like college amateur guys going against like the Soviet Union. These are full-blood NHLers, like Austin Matthews, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, obviously the Hughes brothers. Funny enough, 2 sets of brothers on this team. I always find that weird. Like, not only the odds of making it to be like an Olympian, but like your brother's there with you. I can't even imagine like even just being on the same ice as that. That's like the coolest thing. But Canada, and again, without Sidney Crosby, I expected a little bit more. Like they got the good chances. They rushed through the neutral zone, and especially where the ice was a little bit more shorter, where you have like that attack mentality half of the time, which makes for great hockey, obviously great TV. Man, like I wanted more out of Marchand. I wanted more out of the Panthers. We saw one Rhino goal, I think, throughout the playoffs, the Olympic medals, or whatever the hell it is, the playoff tournament of the Olympics.
Or we get used to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm more used to playoff hockey than actual Olympic hockey. My apologies. As a Panther fan, I'm thinking too much about the postseason. But yeah, I on your point, Danny, I wanted to see more out of Canada, where like they had better potential. Throughout these Olympics. So I didn't see that.
I honestly, again, they didn't take advantage, but watching that second period, I was just on the edge of my seat because I'm like, Canada's going to score any second now. They're going to score. They're knocking on the door. They're putting that entire second period. it was literally the U.S. just sitting back and defending for their lives the entire second period. And I just kept thinking to myself, I don't know for how much longer these guys can sustain this pressure. And boy, did they hold on. They held on for their lives. And of course, a little bit of magic from our goalie helped us survive. But honestly, when that goal went in, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, we got the women's gold medal, but sweeping both of them against Canada, I mean, and let's not even talk about hockey. The fact that this was the most successful Winter Olympics for the United States in terms of medals, I think ever. I mean, the United States has only won the Winter Olympics in general once, and it was like in the 30s. This has always been Norway's Olympics, which once again, Norway won the Olympics this year. But it was a very good outing for the United States this time around in Winter Olympics. Obviously, there were some sad stories like Lindsey Vonn, who came out today and said that if she didn't have the surgery, her leg would have had to be amputated. It's a sad story for Lindsey Vonn, but just impressive for the U.S. overall coming into the Winter Olympics and the most successful Winter Olympics for them. So hopefully moving forward, the U.S. can start to compete in winter the same way we do in summer.
Yeah, and also, what about Alyssa Liu, though, in the figure skating world?
Yes.
Yeah, that is such a cool story from the Bay. But stuff like that also for Vaughn, and I don't know about your guys' take is on this. Once you tear an ACL, maybe we shouldn't keep on going and competing. Maybe we should have stayed home. So, but again, she's a fighter. She's from South Florida. So, all props to her. But yeah, definitely cool storylines from this Winter Olympics.
You just need to see, now that you said that, you need to go back in time and watch Tiger Woods take on Rocco Mediate on a torn ACL, all 18 holes on a championship Sunday, and ends up beating Rocco Mediate on a torn ACL. So that just goes to show you, I mean, it's just different kind of beast, I guess you would say. But anyways, yeah, tomorrow, I want to see, guys, tomorrow, if you guys don't know, tomorrow night is the State of the Union from the president, and the men's hockey team is supposed to be in attendance. And I hope, guys, that every damn politician, every damn person inside that gallery stands up for those guys because they deserve it.
Facts.
That's true. I don't even know if they're going to make it, though. I mean, they're going to be in Club 11. They're going to do a midnight flight to D.C. So, I mean, the boys are going to be out of shape. I mean,
here's the funny thing. If you guys didn't see the phone call between the president and the hockey team and the men's hockey team, he said, guys, I know that basically every airport in the Northeast is closed down right now because the winter storm, but there is some perks of being the president of the United States. So I will somehow, some way, find a way to accommodate you guys and get you on a plane and get you to land in D.C. so you can be here for the State of the Union so you guys can get recognized for your gold medal.
That's good.
It would be amazing. If I see them, if they do make it, oh, man, what a sight that would be.
I think they can pull it off.
I think so, too, but we shall see. We shall see. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Floyd Mayweather is coming out of retirement, and now we have a matchup booked for September. Not only is he going in an exhibition against Mike Tyson, he has an official fight in September against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. This is Maypac Part 2, and I think it's a little too late. I think that they should have done this in 2016 after their 2015 fight when they were both kind of in the end of their primes. But now, after so many years that we've seen them go back and forth, teetering the line of oh, we might get this fight, we may not get this fight. Now, in 2026, we're getting Maypac 2.
Listen. If this isn't a money grab, I don't know what is. Mayweather is probably broke, and this is why he's doing this fight. Now, I know that Manny Pacquiao, even though he hasn't really been fighting in the US, I know he has continued his career fighting in the Philippines. So he's actually kind of maintained some sort of fighting, throughout his like after whatever his boxing career. Now Mayweather, though, I don't listen, Floyd. Listen, you're putting your perfect record on the line for this. If Manny Pacquiao takes this fight serious, and this isn't a money grab, and this is no shits and giggles. Excuse my French. Oh, hey, Floyd, you rely on your quickness. You're almost like over 50 years old. That quickness is not there anymore. And I don't think you have as much power as Manny Pacquiao does. If you F around and find out, you might be on the floor this time. You can't rely on that BS that you relied on the first 50 fights. And hey, I'm letting everybody know right now, Pacquiao, if I'm you, bro, just take it to him. Just take it to him. He's too old. He's not gonna be walking around, jumping around like he used to. You can catch him. You can catch him. One shot is all he needs. And I can see it happening.
Well, Vajanka, if a much younger Logan Paul couldn't take down Mayweather, do you think Pacquiao's going to take him down?
I mean, Logan was nowhere near experienced as Floyd, nowhere near as fast. He thinks because he fought KSI once or twice that he thinks he could take Floyd Mayweather. That's a money grab also. I think Manny Pacquiao is a bigger fight. I'm not gonna say it's as big as a fight if it was in their primes or when they fought the first time. But I just think this is a more serious fight in terms of Floyd Mayweather's record at stake because it is an official bout.
His last official bout was 12 rounds. His last official bout was 12 rounds against Conor McGregor.
And even at that point, it's a money grab.
That's a money grab too, bro.
And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Is the new is the new method now for boxers to fight 6-year-olds? Is that what we're doing now? How old is Pac?
Including Jake Paul?
Yeah, including Jake Paul and Logan. Like how old is Pacquiao? It's like going from Mike Tyson to Pacquiao. It's like it would have been cool a decade ago. You know?
I'll tell you what, though.
Is 47. So it's not bad. 47.
I can barely move my legs in my 20s, man. Pac ain't doing stuff then at 47.
Floyd is 48.
Oh, well, it'll be even. I don't know how good
his birthday's tomorrow. Floyd's birthday's tomorrow, by the way.
Oh. Okay.
Funny how that came out.
I'll tell you what, though. Credit to Jake Paul for stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua, who absolutely obliterated him and broke his jaw.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the difference in actual fighters is ridiculous. Is night and day, bro. Hey,
they got
Pacquiao though. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know. You're changing.
I'm telling you, bro.
You've been a big Mayweather guy.
I'm a big Mayweather guy, but if I'm him, like just forget the fight for a second. If I'm at a perfect 50-0 or 51-0, am I gonna come out of retirement to risk my perfect record? My whole career I went undefeated, no losses, no draws. And I'm gonna come out almost at 48 tomorrow and fight Manny Pacquiao, who can actually hit, has power, has experience, just like you, but you rely more on speed. And as old as you are, you're not gonna have the speed you once did. In that fight against Conor McGregor, which I don't know how long ago that was. Was that in 2020, 2019?
And that's like half a decade ago. Like that was before COVID, wasn't it?
Oh, you were 38. You're not 48.
Yeah.
let's put it out there. You're putting basically 50-year-olds in the ring, but one relies more on power, one relies on speed. I'm taking the power, bro. I think Manny Pacquiao. If this is not a money grab, I'm prefacing this. If this is not fake, whatever stage, Manny Pacquiao agrees to throw some punches, make it look like whatever. Okay, if it's a real fight, I'm taking Manny.
There's only one reason for the explanation of why this is happening, and it has to be no other than, we all know Floyd Money Mayweather's lifestyle. He needs more money to keep it up. It's not like where you see Conor McGregor, where he hasn't fought in the UFC in a while after he broke his leg against Dustin Poirier.
Yep.
McGregor's got a lot of things going on for him. A lot of projects. He's done movies. Obviously, he's got Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. He's got that new promotion. He's got Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Yep. He's got McGregor Entertainment and Promotions. He's got a lot of things going for him. So the money, he can sustain it. But for Floyd, you kind of start to question, like, what is he actually doing? I mean, he's made millions, if not billions, through boxing. Did he just burn through all the cash, especially with his, I don't know how many children he has at this point, but through all the children that he has, I mean, has he burned through all the cash and now he needs to come out of retirement? And I'm sure he doesn't want to put the record on the line, but it's more of like, I have to, if not, I'm going to go broke.
I mean, I don't know what else. I agree with everything you said right now. I mean, I can also see where I think because his boxing gym is probably not doing so good. I'm assuming. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but they're not getting any fighters to go out represent. They're not making enough money. All the businesses he owns, all the strip clubs that Vegas is kind of empty right now. They're not. Everything is more of a gambling thing. Nobody's really going out to these events. They'd rather just see it on TV and not spend the money. I can see why people. This is going to be on Netflix, if I'm correct, right?
It's Netflix.
Another way to make more money. Netflix with the NFL and then the previous fight with Jake Paul. I think they're testing how well it did. I don't see how this isn't a money grab. But I would listen. I'm 0 for 2 this year in championships with the Canes and the Patriots. But please don't give me an L on this one. If this isn't a money grab, this is an actual fight. Manny, if you're listening, if you ever watch this, please do me a favor and just give this guy an actual fight. Give him an actual fight.
Well, you remember the last time he was like, "Oh, my arm was hurt or my shoulder was hurt, and that's why I didn't fight that good."
Bro, hey, that shoulder's better be healed up now.
Jonka and I
no excuses.
Jonka and I watched the first Mayweather and Pacquiao together, and that was probably the biggest disappointment in a fight ever.
Bro, it was just ring around the rosy, bing, bang, boom, inside out. Pacquiao was trying to fight, and it's like, bro, are you going to fight or are you just going to be a Cinderella in the ball, bro?
But you know what? But that is why I thought it was so more impressive that Conor McGregor took him 12 rounds.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like half of that stuff is like a heist. You know what I mean? Let's just get through this. Hopefully no one notices that we're just going around not trying to hurt each other.
No one notices?
No one notices. Let's get in and get out. Quick bank robbery, basically, in Vegas. But I'm also thinking like the Pacquiao side of things, like maybe he's just running for another campaign somewhere. And this is like a way to promote the campaign. You know,
President of the Philippines.
In the Philippines, next mayor of the Philippines again. So you never know. I mean, what was the last time Pacquiao even fought? I mean, shoot, who knows, man? I don't know how this fight's going to turn out. I honestly think another 12 rounds, another draw. No one loses. Everyone leaves with money. That's what I think. Especially being on Netflix, as Jonka said, a money grab. Heavily a money grab.
I agree with Brandon.
I think this fight is not going to be boring because I'm thinking this way, where Netflix is promoting this. If they were to get a boring fight, I think that would ruin their numbers. And we all know, even though we don't like to admit it, money runs the damn world.
But it's already happened. They had
Yeah.
Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson on Netflix, and that we
That's
all
not
know
as-
that was garbage.
That
They
is
even
not
have
as
boring
big as
Christmas
Manny
games on the
Floyd.
NFL.
That to me, that's not as big as Manny and Floyd. Because then what other boxer would consider coming back, and why would Netflix even consider another fight? If he's actually coming back in boxing, coming back from out of retirement just for one fight,
because they know it's gonna attract numbers. They know that, oh look, Floyd and Manny, it's gonna attract numbers.
Yeah, but like, what if it was like Fury against Wilder, like part 3 or whatever? That would make more sense. This is just like creators just getting together. Like Floyd Mayweather is such a personality. You know what I mean? Logan Paul is such a personality. Tyson, like, I get Mike Tyson's old, but he's his own personality. You know what I mean? Like, get some real guys that are just there for the love of the game. Like fucking like Wilder, just like a dog. You know what I mean? Like Mississippi dog, like ready to rough up something. So that's the type of fights we want to see on Netflix.
And can we just acknowledge the elephant in the room is that I don't enjoy a good boxing match, but I just think that Dana White in the UFC has so run the game in combat sports and has overtaken boxing that people are like, yeah, I'll watch a good boxing match, but like, I think what everyone's talking about this year is going to be that UFC White House main card for 4th of July and the 250. I mean, I think everyone's caught up in that and entertained with that. I think people love UFC a lot more just because their product and the matchmaking, the matches that they put together, is so much better than what boxing gives us.
No, it's true. I mean, I remember, like, honestly, because they have what is it, Holloway versus the Bronx Part 2 later in March.
Yeah.
I don't know how many heads are going to be watching that TV on Paramount Plus. Also, great move by the UFC to go to Paramount, I would say.
Yeah.
But boxing is just in a second leg. I haven't been hyped about a boxing match in like ages.
To me, I feel kind of like conflicted in the fact that it's because he chose to come out of retirement and he chose Manny Pacquiao out of all fighters to create this one bout, maybe this one bout, and he's back into retirement, just as a money grab would look like, right? Why not pick a fighter that would actually like generate some hype? I mean, Manny Pacquiao is whatever, bro. Like, it's a big name because of nostalgia, but give me a real fight. Give me a Canelo rematch, the one everybody would love to see, bro.
You want him to die?
Hey, I want to, bro. This is such. I don't want to see a money grab. I think Canelo would be like, I don't want the damn money. I want to knock your ass out. That's what I want to see. Floyd wants to come back from retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao. When you have all this, why not Gervonta Davis? Why not, bro? Canelo, Triple G, somebody.
Anthony Joshua,
bro. Crawford, somebody, bro. You chose a bro. I don't even like.
Well, because
no disrespect to Manny though. No disrespect to Manny, but seriously, if this is about the numbers, give me an actual matchup.
It's because they've been talking about this rematch for years now since it happened. So that's why it's happening.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, but Brandon brought up a good one. I forgot what's his name. The one you said before.
The UFC fight.
No, the boxing match.
Tyson versus Wilder.
Yes, yeah. Fury and Wilder.
Fury Wilder.
Bro, give me a trilogy, bro. Give me a trilogy.
That's what we need because I love Wilder. I really love Wilder. That American, and again, maybe just because I'm coming off an Olympic hype, but that American versus the UK. Love to see that.
Bro, I'll pay prime cash for that fight.
Guys, is it sad that the Chicago Bears aren't going to be in Illinois anymore?
What do you mean? What are you talking about? See, this is ridiculous because I actually had this full conversation with the guys at work. And, again, all of them obviously sports heads, right? Like the ones on this panel right now. When you talk about all-time franchises, you know what I mean? Whether that be the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, one thing is very, very clear. The fan base is drilled into the core of the team through generations. You take out the Bears out of Chicago, you take out a big chunk of that fan base that follows it. We're talking about from Hallis years where the Bears were like basically the top team in the NFL or one of the first teams in the NFL. And that's from like, the beginning of the 19th century. You're trying to tell me they got to go across the state and now be sharing a state with the Colts to be fighting for the top team in that state? And again, I get it. Maybe it's not a crazy drive or whatever. It might be a little bit better stadium and things like that. Go to Arlington Heights. Go to the suburbs of Chicago and not be in the stadium. I get the Soldier Field's historic, but also people say it's a crap. It's a crap hole. It's old. I get it. But a lot of aura in that, a whole lot of aura in that. Like, imagine the Orange Bowl was still here with us today. It would be horrible. It would be not even renovated. Chairs would have cracks. People tripping over, whatever it is. But palm trees will still be in the end zone, still have that aura to it. People would love that for the city. So I think for the Bears, if they do move, and for a new stadium, I get it. Rough it out. Like, this is exactly what happened to the Chargers when they leave San Diego. Great venue. Then they go to Los Angeles, and it's like their second fiddle. You know what I mean? So I just don't like it. I really don't like the move. I think it's bad for the NFL. It's bad for the city of Chicago, obviously. And if you go to Arlington, it's a much better ideal spot. Like, for example, another one too, and this is not even like moving states. Like the Rams leaving the Coliseum to go to SoFi.
Yeah.
You know how cool the Coliseum is to play football in? As a fan to see that, like I'm pretty sure you guys remember that Kansas City Rams game a few years back. High scoring game like that, historic LA. Like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing to the sport? I don't know.
It's like, I don't get it. Like, the Chicago Fire of the MLS are literally getting a new stadium in Chicago. You're telling me that the Bears couldn't get one in Chicago? And I've been to Soldier Field. I was actually there about, I want to say 2-3 years ago. It was a Real Madrid AC Milan preseason game at Soldier Field. You're right, Brandon. It is old. It is very old. And yes, there's no parking. But the area it's in is actually really nice. The park, the stadium is right inside Grant Park. A beautiful park in Chicago, and it's literally steps away from Lake Michigan. It's a beautiful piece of real estate for Soldier Field. I would keep it, at least do renovations to the stadium and stay there. I just, for them to move an iconic franchise out of the entire state of where it plays, and like you said, a huge fan base, and Chicago is a huge sports city.
Huge.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I guess, John, I would ask, is this as bad as the Chiefs going from Missouri into Kansas, or is it not as bad?
I am say it's not as bad because at least you got some Kansas in the name. Like Kansas City. Oh yeah, I've been to Kansas. No, it's in Missouri.
And Kansas City is actually split. It's actually split between Kansas and Missouri.
So I think just because of that, Kansas City in Missouri, and then it's right next to Kansas. I don't think anybody's gonna really give too much about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if I've never been to Chicago, so I can't say too much about the field or anything. But if you, like Daniel says, that the area is nice, and it's a good area, I would have to agree with just make the renovations. Your team actually made some good strides this year. Shout out to Caleb Williams. I've been on him since he got drafted. You got a new head coach. You got some new players. You can make an even more phenomenal draft this coming in April. Why not just renovate the stadium? It doesn't take too much. Maybe you can't do it all at once, but little by little, you make some improvements, and make the area around it maybe more fan friendly. You can do events. You could do some. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think moving the entire team entirely. How far would it be where they think where they want to put it? How far would it be?
It would be. I think it'll probably be like an hour or something, if not
An
more.
hour
or more.
Okay, I mean an hour is with traffic or without traffic.
It's going cross state
from my house to Hard Rock Stadium.
Okay,
it's about 40 45 minutes.
Yeah, but we can't compare Miami traffic.
I know. I'm just trying to make a comparison distance wise. Would it be from my house? You've been to my house. From my house to Hard Rock Stadium, would it be like kind of like that, or
Probably
a little bit more?
Probably further.
Yeah, a little bit further. What, like a casino?
Well, I mean, we're talking about like an hour, so you're probably driving the Jupiter here.
Okay.
Well, you're right, Brandon. So it says here, if they were to move to Arlington Heights, it would only be 30 minutes from downtown Chicago.
Yes. And like in a suburb, in a whatever area. I've never been to Arlington Heights, never even been in the state.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the pronunciation of the state on top of my head. There's too many ILs, too many I's in whatever the middle of the country like that. Iowa, Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know. Either way.
I feel like I think why they're bringing this up is I feel like they just want a fresh start. They don't want to.
No, they just want a dome. They just want a dome. Every damn team out there wants to go to the Super Bowl, and the whole committee's like, well, what if it rains? Like, who cares?
If that's the case, then try to see if you can try to play. I guess like while you're renovating the one you're in now, play somewhere else, and that way you can make the upgrades until the stadium is finally done and renovated. Then you can continue to play there where everybody's been going ever since.
Just like the Jaguars. Just like the Jaguars. Also, another thing about the Jaguars, they're doing a renovation to the stadium. Guess what it has?
A dome.
A roof and a dome. Every team, and this is probably my biggest hot take because I'm pretty sure you guys saw the Indiana game, the national championship. And like the feeling of it, it's just a different feeling as an outdoor venue, an outdoor stadium. Mm-hmm. Like the night, you get to see it over the head and the lights. A dome is like, man, I go watch like the Big Ten championship and I fall asleep looking at like the Colts, vanilla stadium. You know what I mean? Lucas Oil where the combine is every single year. Like, I'm not too dazzled by it. Mercedes-Benz is a different story because as I got that cool looking like cylinder thing and has that history to it. But man, everyone wants a dome. The Browns want a dome. Like the Jags want a dome. Chicago wants a dome. I mean, why would the Jags even need a dome?
It's true. They don't really play during rainy season, so they don't have to worry about thunder.
There's not even snow in Jacksonville. And even if there was, they probably would love the snow, like just for the day.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I can see them wanting a dome is because of the snow, and that's it.
I personally think snow games are cool. Denver and New England, that was so amazing.
Yes, like imagine if someone came up to the front office of Pittsburgh. It was like, hey, the Steeler fan base, I think they appreciate us renovating and putting a dome. They would hate that. I'm pretty sure the Browns fans, they're getting a new stadium, a new venue in Cleveland, and it's like, oh, it'll have like a glass roof and a dome. It'll look super cool. Like, do the Browns deserve a new stadium? Do they deserve a dome? Like, the Commanders are going to be back in, like, the Robert Kennedy venue that they had back in the day. And guess what that new one's going to have? A dome, Like, the NFL needs more roofs. That's what we need more than the NFL. More roofs.
If they're not going to have a dome, at least make it retractable. That way you can just please everybody. You can close it or open it whenever you want. Like, that's the only way I can see a compromise.
Just like the Benz. Very nice stadium in Atlanta.
AT&T in Dallas can open the roof also. It retracts.
Yeah, that too.
Except the windows. We got to work on that because that's so glaring.
I guess that people are lost, bro, because we're sitting here for only like 15 minutes and we just solved their problems.
And people get paid millions to do this.
Bro, just pay me minimum wage. I'll do it for free.
Please.
Brandon, I have to ask. This is a Brandon question.
Oh, boy.
So Tyrese Halliburton was diagnosed with shingles, and he's going to be out some more time. Do you think his injury, now plus this and all the time that he's missed, do you think he's going to be the same when he comes back? How is this going to impact Indiana? Is Indiana going to be as good when he comes back?
Well, I got to tell you one thing, though. Getting shingles in your 20s, that's got to be unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've ever heard of a 20-year-old getting shingles. That's pretty – I mean, that's telling as it is. But for Indiana, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys seen the downfall of the Pacers this season. Without Tyrese, they're turning into a bottom feeder of the Eastern Conference. And you look at where, Rick Carlisle is right now in his career, where Indiana's, projection would be, even if Tyrese came back, and again, not this season, obviously, wouldn't it be worth to bring him back for the last 25 games? But let's say going into next year, Miles Turner is not on that team anymore. Who do you really have? I mean, Pascal Siakam, Nembhard, obviously good players.
Nembhard are good.
TJ McConnell, big glue guy. But it's not pushing things in the East. Like Jason Tatum, and I hate to always bring up the Celtics, but Jason Tatum's out for the whole year, and the Celtics are second in the Eastern Conference right now. That tells you what type of team Boston is. The New York Knicks are still in the fight. Pistons have been improving in strides. Yeah. For Indiana, you thought that, like, man, this would be a team that would, like, take that next step and be like a top 5 team battling, at least battling to get back to the NBA Finals. They might not even get close to, like, the second round of the playoffs in the next 3 years. And write that down if you want to. That's just me being realistic, because Tyrese is probably not going to come back the same. The roster is going to get, and I'm not saying they're going to start, like, picking guys away, but if Miles Turner is, like, can walk away after 10 plus years with Indiana after a finals run, I don't know how much loyalty there is in that locker room. So I really don't like the idea that Tyrese having shingles in his 20s, that's as concerning as it gets. It really is concerning.
I feel like that's an issue with the NBA, and we're like, we're wondering why is Indiana playing this bad? Like, there's no effort. But if you have your star player out for the whole season, and now he gets shingles, right? And then you just said Miles Turner, after just making the finals and losing in a game 7, that if the star player remains healthy and doesn't get injured, you have a chance to be NBA champions. Turner leaves, and then you have an entire team that's, like, lost. I wouldn't blame them for not really putting that much effort. It's like, where do you expect us to go at this point? I feel like this is part of the tanking issue, which probably we're going to talk next week about, where it's like, okay, why even put in the effort if we know we're not making the finals without our star players? And we just lost another starter in Miles Turner, who's like a 20-point per game guy with, like, double guy. I can see both sides of the coin. I mean, let's be honest here. Is the Pacers going to beat the Knicks in the playoffs? I don't think so. Are they going to beat Detroit? I don't think so. I mean, Boston? I don't think so. I think Jason Tatum is going to be coming back for the playoffs.
They won't even beat the Heat, Jonka.
Yeah, I don't even think they'll beat the Heat. So if I'm them, I don't listen, before I say this, I don't agree with tanking. I think you should try to win, because it kind of screws over the ticket buyers, and it kind of makes you look bad. But at the same time, you could also listen. No. You can also make the point where our hopes are basically in the dumps, because there's no point of even trying if we're not going to make it to the end game. So I mean, Brandon, you can say what you want, but
look,
I mean,
okay. I'm going to tell you a known fact that I don't know why people avoid all the time. The lottery works. Tanking doesn't work in the NBA. What was the last time the worst team in the NBA got the number 1 overall pick? The San Antonio Spurs got Wemby for no reason. And then thank you. Let me rephrase that. But anyway, so the lottery, it is what it is, right? There's no other way around it. If you suck, you're not going to get the number 1 pick for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
Pelicans basically got themselves a number 1 pick I'm holding a sneeze like crazy. I don't know what's going on. There's like dust mites everywhere. But let me get straight to my point, though. The lottery works. The worst team in the NBA never gets the number one pick. Sometimes never even gets a top 3 pick in the NBA.
Which
Indiana, for some reason, during the trade deadline, decided to get Isaac Subats, which is like the top center, in my honest opinion, on the Western Conference from the Clippers, going to Indiana. For what reason? Maybe to, build off into next year. But if you look at Indiana, and tell me this is a team that's tanking or a team that's just has an injury. So we're talking about, obviously, T.J. McConnell, Nembhard, Aaron Naismith, Ben Shepherd, Obi Toppin.
Okay. A lot of young guys.
Oh, you want to hear the young guys that they got on the roster?
I mean, those are the young guys. I mean,
Jarris Walker.
Okay.
Ethan Thompson.
Okay.
Micah Porter.
Junior?
Mind you, these are guys that have gone minutes this season.
Michael Porter Jr.?
Micah.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
Yeah, I see, for a second there, I thought. Cam Jones. Quentin Jackson. Jay Huff. We're talking about a G League team. A lot of guys have already left this roster. Indiana's just trying to bring in talent. No one wants to stay in Indiana, especially when Tyrese isn't there. There's a 15-team winning team, bottom of the East, tied with Brooklyn somehow, which, again, I can do a whole, because I know I missed a few podcasts, that Cam Thomas move from the Nets. What are we doing? What are we doing with that in the NBA? Like, David Stern would have vetoed that on his own behalf if he was still, alive. I'm telling you right now. But, yeah, it's not a tanking thing. It's just Indiana has no one. Just Pascal Siakam can average 40 a game, and they would still lose, like, every game. No doubt in my mind.
I'm not saying they're tanking. I'm not saying they're tanking for the pick. I'm just thinking, like, why would I even try to even make the playoff if I know that we're not going to go anywhere with the team that we have now? That's my point. Like, I understand that the roster isn't as good. Obviously, Halliburton, Miles Turner's gone. But overall, like, they weren't going to go anywhere. So why would they risk potentially getting an injury and just actually, let's say they actually tried, right? All out. And they lose in the first round, and another starter player, boom, goes out and tears an ACL, whatever it is. Now they're out another player because they actually tried in and they weren't going to make it anyways. They weren't going to go anywhere. So I feel like I think that's the point that I'm trying to make for them is, like, I'm not going to say they're not trying, but at the same time, I can understand why they wouldn't try.
Right. No, I mean, it is true, though. Plus, definitely out of a play-in spot. I mean, they're not even close.
I don't even know why the play-in is still a thing. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you, though, actually, and this is a little bit off topic, but the Charlotte Hornets right now over the Milwaukee Bucks for the 10th seed in the play-in. Definitely something to look for.
Constantinople, baby. Constantinople.
I mean, I don't talk to me about Charlotte. They good and hell well knew they were trading Terry Rozier with some serious issues.
Yeah, that's the one thing about him. Give me my first round pick back.
Yeah. But that was been like the number one thing throughout the whole discussion with Terry Rozier. You know what I mean? Like, because not only did he have to pay him that $24 to $26 million, but like Silver doesn't even give him back the pick. There's got to be some sort of compensation. I don't know.
Adam Silver hates the Miami Heat, period. I'm convinced. What logical explanation could you possibly give for not giving us back the first pick? Like, are we like, how is nobody like aggressively pursuing this guy and asking him the tough questions? Because nobody wants to do it. They'll get fired.
Yeah.
I need an answer. If I ever see him walk into my shop, I'm either kicking him out or he better answer my question.
On a serious note, away from the joke, I want to spend the last 10 minutes of the show talking about, unfortunately, Rondale Moore. Unfortunately, at the young age of 25, it's apparently took his own life and suicide. they found him in his own garage with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And there is a touching video from a couple years ago with J.J. Watt where he's kind of, you can kind of see Moore struggling mentally, and Watt goes over to him and says, "Hey, buddy, like what's going on?" And he's like, "Man, like I'm struggling. Like I dropped a couple passes." And Watt joking's like, "Well, where did it hit you? Did it hit your hands?" And he's like, "Yeah, it hit my hands." He's like, "Well, that is your job description. That's gonna be kind of hard to." To get through that, but then he gives him some encouragement, and you can kind of see probably from that Moore was struggling from his mental health. And guys, it's just, I wanted to open up the conversation because it's been kind of a reoccurring thing with NFL players where there's been so many NFL players as of late that are struggling with their mental health. I mean, look at Marshawn Kneeland from my Dallas Cowboys and what happened to him this past year. I mean, what do you guys think it is, or like, what do you think can be done to? Because at this point, it's an epidemic of a lot of these guys need help.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, no matter how you look at it, whether it's a generational thing, whether you think it's just a different age or whatever, I mean, it's a hard time for any athlete, especially if you're like going into your first 5 years or whatever with social media and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like, we really don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but you can imagine what's said on social media is adding to that fire. And again, this is, from what we've seen for the past of some athletes getting, unfortunate, death threats and things of that. But for Kendall Moore, I mean, it's a tough story, man. It's a tough story. Was a huge legend in Boilermakers, going in college, and then for him to, kind of like have that setting of, one of the top receivers for the Cardinals, and then, them going to the Vikings, and you think that, he's got to push, you see the trajectory up, and it's, too much, it just gets too much sometimes. And unfortunately, this results to this, so, and I'm not going to say it's a CTE thing or anything like that, because I just think that the kid's too young, 25, it had to be something else. But and altogether, it's a horrible thing, and I'm really praying for the family in this and everyone involved in this, because, no matter how much you get paid, the thing that matters the most is, it's up here. That's the thing that matters the most, to me at least. But
it's a human being at the end of the day. Another human being that's a family member, a brother, a cousin, a son. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if there's any correlation of struggling mentally while playing a violent sport, because at the end of the day, football is a violent sport. And I don't know if there's a correlation with that. But I think, as someone who's myself is big into mental health, I think that one of the things that Roger Goodell should do, instead of focusing on making 9 international games next season, I really think that he should address this problem, because it really is a big problem for the league right now, of a lot of these guys struggling mentally, and try to figure out a solution or a platform that they can give these players to give them support for their situations.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago. Me, Brandon, Daniel, my brother, we all went to a Dolphins preseason practice, joint practice with the Atlanta Falcons, where we saw Rondell Moore tear his ACL, and it was like devastating, because I was excited actually to see him. Rondell Moore being part of that 2021 draft class that had Micah Parsons, Devontae Smith, Kwity Paye, and all those guys. But unfortunately, I don't know if this what led to the situation of his mental health, but I just think when you're a player, I think he was before this NIL situation that's going on in college football. But you come into the NFL, right? You try to make, generational money, and take care of your family for generations to come, give them the life that they deserve. But his first year with the Cardinals on 9 games due to various injuries. 2024, the torn season-ending right knee injury dislocation in training camp, and then in 2025, the season right after, season-ending left knee injury again, torn ACL in the preseason opener. I think a lot of the injuries kind of led to him like doubting himself and like, damn, because most likely, if you with all these injuries, you're not going to be really, sought after by most teams. Yeah, and I think it's like, damn, like this is my, I have to go all in, or else I don't know what to do with my life. Maybe he was in that point, like pointed in his mind, where like, what am I gonna do with the if I don't make it in football? What am I gonna do? I don't know what his family situation was, or anything, but I think he was dealing with that in his head after multiple injuries in his career. Just to start off his NFL, he was a second round pick. I think I forgot what pick he was, but I I don't know what they can do. Maybe a program where play NFL players that are in a similar situation where they're kind of injury prone. They ended up being high round picks and they don't make it. Maybe there should be some sort of like, maybe I don't know how to
I
maybe
mean, I
all
think
the
a program that they should do like before the year starts or something. I mean, something around the lines of that, Jock. I think that would be good.
I think what would be really nice to see though is a program for all the undrafted free agents, all the players that are struggling to get I guess a roster slot on teams. There should be some sort of like program where, okay, the guys that somehow can get a roster spot or a practice squad should be on this list of players. And let's say, for example, Rondell Moore, let's say, he calls it quits, he retires because of all these injuries. He goes and he helps these players develop into what they can be. Or maybe like just in the similar position as they are. Okay, you're a seventh round pick, undrafted free agent. You didn't make it onto any teams, but you want to develop a little bit more. Maybe since you already entered the draft, you can go back to college. Maybe right there, that's where something you could do.
And it's it has been in the NFL before. We've seen AJ Brown publicly say that he at one point in his life thought about taking his own life. And this is all, like Jonka said, from performance, the pressure to perform. We've seen AJ Brown. Guys, I mean, look at man, I'm blanking on her name right now. Um, Former UFC fighter
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey. There we go. Thank you. Ronda Rousey, when she lost to Holly Holm, she came out, I think, years later and said that she had suicide ideation because she had fallen off and just the pressure to perform and that she had lost had gotten to her. Jonka's going to know this one. Just this past year, Lewis Hamilton, a 7-time world champion in Formula One. He had a tough year with his first year in Ferrari, and people were very concerned about his mental health because he was saying in interviews, I'm worthless, I'm useless. And people were getting concerned because they were like, this guy is literally devaluing his life and he's not looking good mentally because of his struggles to perform. So it's definitely could be an athlete thing, but definitely I think there's a big issue with it specifically in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, and again, also, because the teams could do so much, Roger Goodell could do so much, but a lot of it's, from the players out off of the field. So it's very big, from the fan perspective, to just be light on some of these players. Like Dan, like you said earlier in the segment, like, these are people, you know what I mean? So definitely it's important to just to keep that in mind. And, that goes from athletes and for regular people, just be a human being. That's the best thing I can say.
Yeah, I mean, also, and this is the last thing I'll say before we close, but it's hard because it really depends on the person. You can tell, like Brandon, like you said, like there's only so much they can do. You can tell somebody so many times if you need help, like seek the help, call somebody. But it depends on that person. That person needs to be the one that needs to pick up the phone or go to somebody. And if they don't, then they find themselves in these situations, and this ends up being the end result. And it's really sad. But and this doesn't only go for athletes. And I'll end the show with this: if there's anybody out there, that's struggling and suffering mentally, reach out to somebody, please. Reach out to somebody. I'm big on mental health. My socials are always open. We don't have to know each other. You don't have to explain everything in specific. But if you ever need somebody to talk to, my line is always open. And if it's not me, a family member or a trusted friend, like, just please get the help that you. Oh, look, it did it again. But please get the help that you need. And with that, boys, I mean, that's going to be the end of our show tonight. That was just episode 217. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Stay warm because it is cold in South Florida yet again. I know Brandon is dreading it.
For some reason, it's like 50 degrees outside. Hoodied up.
Stay warm. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you guys next week for a brand new episode. Have a great